Republican rivals giving their all to kill Mitt Romney's momentum ahead of the crucial South Carolina primary just 9 days away. The center of the attacks, a 28-minute film, King of Bane, when Mitt Romney came to town, tearing apart his tenure as CEO of the venture capital firm. Here's a taste.
Wall Street's corporate raiders made billions of dollars. Their greed was only matched by their willingness to do anything to make millions in profits. Nothing was spared, nothing mattered but greed.
So this is what we're resorting to now. Lanny Davis is a lawyer and legal crisis manager, and Guy Benson is the political editor at townhall.com. Welcome to you both. Lanny, I'm going to start with you.
Hey, Jerry.
These punches are now landing. You look at Romney's numbers right now, and they're down 10 points from the beginning of the month. What's going on here? Why is this resonating so much with voters?
Well, first of all, I'd like to stand aside and let the Republicans shoot at each other. This is a great pleasurable. Look, I think Mitt Romney, as a crisis manager, is not handling this the way he should. The answer isn't to talk about free market capitalism. Believe it or not, I'm a liberal Democrat, and I believe in free market capitalism. He's got to be fully transparent. He did great things, apparently, according to the Washington Post today, with Domino's and Staples and Sports Authority. What I want to know is how many times did he load companies up with debt and pull out a lot of money, and how much money did he pull out, and did he leave them behind as bankrupt? Those are putting all the facts out, and that will probably stabilize his fall in the polls.
Well, you know, I'm shocked because I'm shocked this story is getting currency, to tell you the truth. Look, Romney today out defending himself. Here's what he had to say.
Greed, for lack of a better word.
Pretty straightforward. Just look at those companies I mentioned: Staples, Bright Horizons, let's see, Steel Dynamics, and the Sports Authority. And you can just go on their websites. You can see they're well over 100,000. It's a few thousand of reductions compared to well over 100,000 in additions, and so the net is over 100,000.
Okay, sorry about that. We started with Gordon Gekko saying greed is good. That's not what we meant. That's not Mitt Romney. Guy, to you, though, he did mount this defense today after being called out on the editorial page of the Wall Street Journal by no less than Karl Rove to start defending himself. Was that articulate enough? Was that enough to convince people that what he did at Bain was on the up and up?
Well, I don't think it's quite enough just yet. I had a lengthy conversation yesterday, Jerry, when I was on my way back from New Hampshire with a top Romney strategist, and he was expressing some of these concerns about how now is the time for this campaign to really start to sharpen and refine its message to push back against some of these, to me, very disappointing and in some ways depressing attacks coming from Republicans in order to prepare themselves for what will be an absolute onslaught of very similar rhetoric and very similar charges from Democrats in the general election if Romney wins the nomination.
Lanny, to you, a survey from Pew out this week talking about how this issue of the wealthy against the poor is really gaining currency among the electorate. People are really on to this idea that there's some unfairness in our capitalist society, that some people make more money than other people. No doubt the president will jump on this with both feet. He's already been doing this. Is this the issue of our times in some way?
No, I think it's not about the wealthy versus the poor. It's about manipulation and dishonesty. If Mitt Romney wants to clear the air, and by the way, to have a Romney staffer express disappointment about going negative, excuse me, the last time I looked in Iowa, it was Mitt Romney going negative against Republicans, so they're getting it back. But what needs to be done here by Mr. Romney is he's got some good stories to tell, but he's got to be transparent. Did he load companies up with a lot of debt and pull money out? If the answer is yes, how much money did he pull out? Tell the full story, and then I think it's right if it gets out now, good or bad, by October it'll be old news.
Guy, though, isn't the whole story more complicated than that? There were scores of firms that Bain invested in. Some of them did well, some of them did not. But the track record overall, some 70% of companies succeeded. That seems impressive to me. How do you read it?
Yeah, of course it's impressive. And since when did making a profit become a problem in this country? I mean, if you look at the Wall Street Journal's analysis, 22% of the risks that Bain took in investing its capital failed, and the companies went bankrupt. Now, a lot of them were already on the way down, but as you said, a lot more of them succeeded, which is why Bain Capital has been a very successful company under Mitt Romney's leadership and then afterwards. And there's a lot of investors, not just big fat cats sitting around trying to make money back. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that, because a lot of them want to take that money and invest it into other startup firms that are turning around other firms. That's the way the economy works. That's the way capitalism works. But there are also endowments that have invested with Bain. There are public pension funds that have invested with Bain, and they've done a terrific job getting money back on those investments, return back on those investments, and in the process, they've turned around a whole lot of companies and in the process created tens of thousands of jobs, which is the issue here, Jerry. Jobs and the economy. Mitt Romney understands those issues. This president does not, which is why he's going to try to distract everyone.
Let's let Lanny get back in here, because I do want to ask this question, because I think Romney detractors, regardless of party affiliation right now, are coming close to the idea that they really don't like capitalism, that that's not the way, you know, the amount of money that you make should be decided, and that it's unfair that some people are in a position to guide the prospects of companies that people work at. I am having the hardest time getting my arms around this criticism of private equity investing. Some people do it well, some people do it bad, some companies fail, some win. This isn't the government. This is the private sector. Sometimes companies go under.
Well, sometimes government tries hard and gets it wrong too, and I didn't hear the forgiveness. I didn't hear the forgiveness about the bad judgment made on Salinger coming from Governor Romney.
That's because it's my money. It's totally different. It's my money. It's taxpayer money.
But sometimes government does a good job, like with General Motors. So let's be at least the same standard.
The bolts of success. Are you serious?
Jerry, let's at least have the same standard about misjudgments on both sides. But you guys are not framing...
I don't think so. It's not the same thing. My point is that it's very different. In the private sector, private people risk their own money. In the public sector, you're risking taxpayer dollars. There is no even playing field there.
Thanks for bringing that up, Lanny.
Let's get back to the way I am framing the issue. I don't agree with your double standard.
Please go ahead.
The way I'm framing the issue, in which I don't hear an answer to the Romney spin here, is how much debt did he load on a company, how much money did he take out, and did he leave behind a bankrupt company? That's not free market capitalism. That's manipulation. If the answer is no, it didn't happen, great. Let's be transparent and let's look at the facts.
Well, Guy, what do you say to that? Has there been enough transparency?
Please answer that.
Has there been enough, public recording of the record of Bain Capital when it comes to each and every company that they've invested in? And do they have to do that? They're a private company. I guess they could close their doors if they wanted to and give no information out.
Right. Well, a couple points. First of all, I'm very happy that Lanny brought up Salinger, and I think that there's a big difference, which you helped draw out there, Jerry. But yeah, look, I'm not here to carry a bunch of water for Mitt Romney. I think that we need to have a full examination of his record at Bain Capital. There's going to be some stuff in there that isn't great. There's going to be a lot of stuff in there that is very appealing. He did create tens of thousands of jobs, or helped create tens of thousands of jobs through his successful enterprise and capitalism. And I think that the Romney campaign, if they're going to want to deflect some of these arrows that are coming at them, I think, tragically and pathetically from the right and then eventually from the left, they need to make sure that they've got this stuff locked down with an airtight explanation.
You say yes, more information.
Absolutely.
Jerry,
sure, absolutely.
You've managed to bring full agreement on. You've managed to bring full agreement on your program, which is pretty darn good. I agree with those.
We argue on TV, but we really all like each other. It's really true.
I want to say, though, the real issue here is not what did Mitt Romney do with a small handful of companies during his time at Bain. The issue is jobs and the economy, and what's it going to take to bring employment back up in this country. And the reason that hang on.
We got to go, guys. Listen, I think we all agree we need more jobs. I think everybody can check that box. That's for darn sure. Lanny, Guy, thanks so much for helping us out tonight. You were absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you.
Well.